What Navy SEALs and Roman philosophers know about mental programming. Think about this. A Navy SEAL goes through Hell Week, sleep deprivation, hypothermia, physical torture, and most people quit. But some don't. What's the difference? It's not physical, it's mental. It's the ability to control your internal narrative when everything external is screaming at you to quit. And here's what blows my mind. The same principle that gets SEALs through impossible missions is what made Marcus Aurelius one of the greatest emperors in history. And it's exactly what you need to dominate in the AI era. Stoic philosophers weren't sitting around thinking pretty thoughts. They were training their minds like weapons. Seneca faced exile and death threats. Epictetus was literally a slave. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire falling apart. They didn't have therapy apps or motivational speakers. They had brutal reality, and they developed mental frameworks that made them unbreakable. The core principle? Dichotomy of control. Separate what you control from what you don't. Then pour 100% energy into what you control. Zero energy into what you don't. Now fast forward to today. You've got AI tools that can amplify every decision you make. ChatGPT can draft. Algorithms can analyze. Automation can execute. But here's the catch. If your mind is chaos, technology just amplifies chaos. If your mental foundation is weak, AI becomes another distraction tool. But if you train your mind like a Stoic, technology becomes a force multiplier. You become dangerous. Let me break down exactly how this works. Imagine you're building a startup. AI can crunch market data, predict trends, automate workflows. But who decides the vision? Who maintains discipline when funding falls through? Who stays focused when competitors attack? Not the machine. You do. And if your mind is trained in Stoic principles, you make decisions based on principles, not panic. You execute based on logic, not emotion. You persist based on philosophy, not fleeting motivation. The Stoics had daily practices. Marcus Aurelius journaled every night. He questioned his actions, challenged his thoughts, adjusted his course. He treated his mind like an athlete treats their body. Here's how you apply this with AI. Use tracking algorithms to monitor your patterns. Sleep, focus, decision quality. Let AI show you the data, but you interpret it through Stoic lens. You ask, what can I control here? Where am I wasting energy? What principle should guide my next move? There's a concept in special operations called stress inoculation. You expose yourself to stress in training so you don't break under real pressure. Stoics did this mentally. They visualized worst-case scenarios, then planned responses. This is exactly what AI does with simulations. It runs millions of scenarios before you act. When you combine Stoic mental training with AI-powered scenario planning, you become virtually unshakable. Drop a comment. Unshakable. What's one area where you need more mental control? Hit that like button and subscribe because we're about to dig deeper into ancient strategies that work today. Why Einstein, Da Vinci, and Tesla all use this mind hack. Here's something schools never taught you. The greatest innovations in history didn't come from geniuses working harder. They came from people who thought differently. Einstein didn't discover relativity by studying more physics. He discovered it by asking better questions. Leonardo da Vinci didn't create masterpieces by copying others. He combined art, engineering, biology, philosophy. Tesla didn't invent AC power by following conventional wisdom. He visualized it. And here's the pattern nobody talks about. They all used positive mental programming as strategic advantage. But let's destroy a myth right now. Positive thinking isn't about pretending problems don't exist. That's delusion. Strategic positive thinking is about controlling your interpretation of reality. It's about choosing the frame that moves you forward. Sun Tzu wrote, "All warfare is based on deception, but the first person you need to deceive is yourself." You need to convince your brain that victory is inevitable, that obstacles are opportunities, that setbacks are data. This isn't lying. This is strategic mindset architecture. Neuroscience backs this up hardcore. Your brain has something called reticular activating system. It's a filter that decides what information reaches your conscious mind. And here's the wild part. This filter is programmed by your beliefs. If you believe opportunities exist, your brain shows them to you. If you believe you're screwed, your brain confirms it. You literally see different realities based on mental programming. And with AI, this effect multiplies exponentially. Think about machine learning. An algorithm is only as good as its training data and objective function. If you train an AI model to optimize for engagement, it becomes addictive. If you train it to optimize for truth, it becomes accurate. Your mind works the same way. If you program it with scarcity, it finds scarcity. If you program it with abundance, it finds abundance. The Stoics understood this. They called it impression management. You control the first impression events make on your mind. Here's a practical framework. Every morning, before checking anything digital, ask yourself, what's the most empowering interpretation of my current situation? Write it down. Make it specific. Then use AI tools to find evidence supporting that interpretation. Not to create fantasy, but to shift focus. Because here's the truth, there's always evidence for multiple narratives. Losers focus on evidence of why they'll fail. Winners focus on evidence of how they'll succeed. Both are looking at the same reality. Different filters. Leonardo da Vinci filled notebooks with what if questions. What if humans could fly? What if we could see inside the body? What if art and science were the same thing? He programmed his mind to see possibilities. Then he executed. That's the formula. Positive mental programming plus relentless action. Not one or the other. Both. Type in the comments. Filter. What mental filter do you need to change? Smash that like and subscribe, because I'm about to show you ancient techniques that modern science just proved work. How samurai warriors built unbreakable mental discipline, and you can too. Samurai didn't become legendary warriors by accident. They followed Bushido, the way of the warrior, and at its core was one principle: memento mori, remember death. They meditated on death daily, not to be morbid, to be present. Because when you truly accept that life is temporary, you stop wasting it. You stop playing small. You stop caring about petty bullshit. And you start performing at levels most people can't comprehend. The Stoics had the exact same practice. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." Now here's where it gets interesting for high performance in the AI age. When you combine this memento mori mindset with technology, something powerful happens. You stop scrolling mindlessly because you realize every minute matters. You stop tolerating mediocre work because life's too short for garbage output. You stop avoiding hard conversations because death is certain and comfort is temporary. This mental shift is what separates high performers from everyone else. Let me give you a framework the samurai used. Kaizen, continuous improvement, small, daily upgrades. They didn't try to become perfect overnight. They improved 1% daily. And here's why this matters with AI. Machine learning models improve through iterations. They run, they measure, they adjust, they run again. Your mind can operate the same way. Daily reflection, daily adjustment, daily execution. Compound that over months and you're unrecognizable. Here's your practical protocol. Every evening, take 10 minutes. Review your day. Ask 3 questions. Where did I lose focus? Where did I act from ego instead of principle? Where can I improve tomorrow? Then visualize tomorrow. See yourself executing perfectly. This is what athletes do before competition. They've already won mentally before stepping on the field. You can do this with work, relationships, creativity, anything. The samurai had another practice, misogi, purification. They'd stand under waterfalls in winter, physical suffering to build mental toughness. You don't need to freeze under waterfalls, but you need voluntary discomfort, cold showers, hard workouts, difficult conversations, challenging projects. Because here's the truth. Comfort is the enemy of high performance, and AI is making everything more comfortable, which means if you don't actively choose difficulty, you're getting weaker, while technology gets stronger. Use AI for leverage, but build mental calluses through discipline. Let algorithms handle repetitive tasks while you tackle problems that require deep thought. Let automation free up time while you invest that time in skills that compound. This is the warrior mindset applied to modern life. Comment. Warrior, what's one uncomfortable thing you're committing to this week? Drop that like and subscribe because we're uncovering more ancient secrets next. The intelligence warfare happening inside your phone right now. You're in a war, and you don't even know it. Every app on your phone is weaponized with AI designed for one purpose: capture and monetize your attention. TikTok's algorithm knows what you'll watch before you do. Instagram knows what triggers your insecurity. YouTube knows exactly when you're about to click away. And they're all using machine learning to hook you deeper. This isn't conspiracy theory. This is documented business strategy. And if you don't have mental discipline, you've already lost. The Stoics fought similar battles, except their enemy wasn't algorithms. It was Roman politics, manipulation, propaganda. Seneca warned, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." He was talking about mental hijacking. People stealing your peace through fear, comparison, distraction. Sound familiar? Same war, different weapons. And the solution is the same: radical mental ownership. Here's what most people don't understand about AI. It's neutral. It amplifies whatever you point it at. If you use AI to scroll feeds, you get dopamine addiction. If you use AI to learn, automate, and create, you get leverage. The tool is the same. The wielder determines the outcome. This is pure stoicism. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." AI isn't happening to you. It's a tool available to you. Pick it up or be beaten by it. Practical warfare tactics for your attention. First, offense. Use AI for creation, not consumption. Write with AI assistants. Build with AI tools. Analyze with AI models. Make AI your assistant, not your master. Second, defense. Delete apps that don't serve your mission. Set digital boundaries. Use AI-powered blockers to protect focus time. Third, reconnaissance. Track your digital behavior. Use analytics to see where time actually goes. You can't optimize what you don't measure. There's a military principle called commander's intent. Before any operation, commanders define the ultimate objective. Then troops have freedom to adapt tactics. You need the same thing. Define your life's mission. Then every decision gets filtered through that mission. Does scrolling serve the mission? No, delete. Does learning a new skill serve the mission? Yes. Invest time. AI can help you track alignment, but only you can define the mission. Final thought from Marcus Aurelius. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. AI can be your greatest enemy or your greatest ally. Distractions can destroy you, or discipline can be forged by resisting them. The obstacle is the path. Choose to walk it with stoic discipline and modern leverage. Comment. Warfare. What's your mission and how are you protecting it? Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone fighting the same battle.